There are thousands of miles of roads in Hamilton County and Chattanooga. Whether winter weather hits and when it hits, things can get pretty messy quickly.
Absolutely. As we enter the winter months, we're asking how many resources are used and how much of your money is put toward clearing the roads. News Channel 9's Drew Balea has the answers.
Last January, several storms caused massive backups and dozens of wrecks. When the temperatures drop and snow and ice come down, it's up to a handful of agencies to keep things clear and safe for you. It was a mess. January 2014 had 3 major winter weather events.
Nobody can go anywhere.
There was gridlock and dozens of crashes.
This was the perfect storm, if you will. The temperatures were sub-freezing, if you remember, in the 20s. And we did get just a light dusting of precipitation at the wrong time.
As frustrations grew, hundreds of people and millions of your tax dollars were hard at work. Lee Norris runs the 600-person Public Works Department for the city of Chattanooga. They're responsible for clearing all the city streets and some of the state roads that lie within the city limits.
We just had a mess out there as far as traffic goes.
Norris specifically remembers January 28th. The wet stuff inched north around 8 a.m. Schools and businesses released people at the same time. The roads were packed. Public Works trucks behind.
We had not prepared for precipitation based on the weather forecast from all the sources we looked at.
For that weather event alone, about 1 inch of snow, Public Works went through more than 1,700 tons of salt and sand. They spent about $290,000, which is roughly half of the city weather budget for the year.
Stay home is the best thing you can do.
The city is working on a total snow budget of about $650,000. Just 2 storms covered 80% of that money. And this year, the budget is going up $100,000 extra because of a national salt shortage. For each pound of salt used, you pay 6 cents. But that's only for the city. You also have to pay for the county reserves and the state reserves.
This is approximately a 5,000-ton bin.
Chris Smith is a district supervisor with TDOT. They operate on a separate state budget of about $4 million, which they use to cover 24 counties, including Hamilton. This salt costs about 4 cents a pound. Whether it's city or state salt, it works the same when it hits the roads. That is, of course, unless a street is never touched. The stretch of Amnicola Highway between Highway 153 and DuPont Parkway is a state route, but it lies inside the city limits. A breakdown in communication between Public Works and TDOT meant this stretch of road went untreated, leading to crashes on the icy road.
And I spent the next 2 nights reading over the contract in detail and figuring out what was our responsibility and what was the city's responsibility.
Smith says they came to an agreement, and this year, the city will be in charge of Amnicola.
When I rewrote the contract this year, that got included on their contract. It's
a learning moment that Smith says will only better the city and state's response to winter weather events as they prepare for the next big storm.
Somebody's life's in danger. We'll do what it takes.
On January 28th, Atlanta had it even worse. Horror stories by thousands of people trapped on the interstate for hours. There was confusion and blame for everyone involved. But Norris and Smith tell me that Atlanta city officials actually came to Chattanooga shortly after that winter event to learn from Chattanooga's operations and take that information back to their city so this doesn't happen again. Yet another line of communication opened up. I'm Drew Balea, News Channel 9.